Hello, I'm Debbie Bell-Hosking for Finextra TV here at EBAday 2023 in Madrid, and I'm talking to Paul Ruggieri of Mastercard. Paul, welcome.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. And we're talking cross-border payments, and there's a lot of discussion here at EBAday about initiatives to realize immediate cross-border payments.
Yes.
We're also seeing regional initiatives exploring the concept of cross-border interoperability, with just a handful of countries already in bilateral agreements linking to their real-time payment schemes. So what would you say are the pain points still to be solved for cross-border payments?
Well, it's really interesting. Domestically, we're seeing real-time become more and more prominent, but not so much on international. They lag behind. So when we start to think about what the customer or the end user sees, they are missing pieces of the puzzle. For example, they don't see how much the person's going to get paid exactly. They don't know exactly what day it's going to be paid, or how much it's actually costing them to do that that cross-border transaction. So from an end user perspective, there are quite a few pain points as we just talked through. But as we've talked about over the last couple of days, there's been lots of initiatives around interoperability, which have really benefited users, millions of users, and this in turn benefits the FI. Once the corridor is opened, it gives the FI the enablement to be able to provide a payment, a P2P payment, similar to what they'd see domestically. FIs also service corporates with large volumes of cross-border payments. However, for the small businesses and the consumers, that's not so prominent. So there is a real opportunities for FIs to step into that market as the fintechs and the wallets are really stepping into that place. But also giving the user a really great experience. The FI could really establish that piece. However, establishing scalability in this industry is quite difficult using a bilateral model. You have to negotiate multiple contracts and with multiple parties. You also then have to do different types of conversations around the rules and the orchestration of operations, and the end user won't get the same experience. So the multilateral model or platform is something we're aiming to target that will hopefully be a faster and more scalable model.
Excellent. So we're chatting bilateral agreements to multilateral platforms. So can you define a little bit more what's in it for financial institutions?
Oh, the multilateral platform will give the financial institution a reduced time and effort. Again, like we discussed, is reducing the amount of time to negotiate these bilateral agreements. And what we've seen from our own experience is that can take up to 2 years to open a corridor. It will also give the consumer the possibility to be able to see and have a similar experience, and also it gives them the access to open to new channels without opening up bank accounts. So from our perspective, there is a real opportunity to move to a multilateral platform, and we really support the leadership from the G20 saying that the urgency around immediate payments is something we support. And from our experience of being global in 13 global markets where we operate critical national infrastructure, plus our experience in RTP, we are targeting some specific pain points which we're hoping to solve.
Absolutely. And there's just so much happening in the space, but I'm going to throw retail CBDCs into the mix. So
Yes.
how can financial institutions prepare for a multilateral cross-border CBDC future?
I think this is something that's really prominent in the mind of an FI. They have to be the effective intermediary. Their systems have to be able to link to multiple platforms, and they have to have seamless integration into their core banking platforms and payment systems. With that in mind, that means the banks need to keep focused on providing end users with choice and guarantee interoperability between payment sources. For example, being able to transfer money from a Spanish bank account to a pound wallet seamlessly to the customer, it should be a real key for the FI in that space. At Mastercard, we're really been looking at payment data orchestration, which gives us the ability to give you accurate data so that these payments can go through efficiently and effectively. And what we're aiming to do with this product is be able to open up data sources between proxy and CBDC wallets and accounts, domestic and international payments, so that capability can then facilitate account verification, confirmation of payee, and where applicable, payment sanction checking.
So there's a lot on the horizon, Paul, and lots to talk about even here at EBAday. So thank you so much for sharing your insight with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.